we're going to talk a little bit about the roles and responsibilities of the management team. Now, who is on the management team? Think about your host, your workers, so all your staff, and that includes your security. Why did I separate security from the staff? Because more often than not, the security services are outsourced. And so, oftentimes, organizers forget that the security needs to be in the loop as to what is to happen. It's not just to tell them about the parking space and who is to come in. They need to know what is to happen, so they need to get a full briefing of the event. So they will know when things are out of hand, what is to happen, what corrective action to take, and most importantly, who the contact persons are for the various activities. They don't all have to go find the host. So when you talk about your management team and their responsibilities, 5 basic things to consider. First, courtesies for your guests and attendees. What do I mean by that? Courtesies. What is to happen when they come in? So are they going to be welcomed? Are they going to receive an armband? Are they expected to take a ticket when they're coming in? Are they expected to pay at the gate? What do we expect of these persons when they're coming in, your guests and attendees? What courtesies should your team display to them? Separate and apart from being polite and being courteous, it is important to know what additional bits, because all of this contributes to the experience that your guests will have overall. The treatment of your guests and attendees. It is important to think about the kind of treatment that they will get. And the treatment will speak to, do you have an impolite security guard at the gate? Do you have someone at the ticket booth who is not polite, who is not engaging persons well when they come in? You want to ensure that at all times, your guests get the best treatment, and the best treatment meaning professional, polite, kind, courteous, respectful. That is important. Another consideration is that of dress code and deportment. No, dress code is important because if you're having a church conference, a work conference, a party, a graduation, a Sweet 16 party, whatever the occasion, people need to be appropriately attired. Now, you have no control over what they show up wearing after you have advised them of the dress code, but it is your responsibility to ensure that at all times they are properly informed of what the dress code is and what is expected of them. So if it's a formal function, clearly stated. If it is more casual, whatever the occasion, be sure to state the dress code. Then it could even be a formal function, but it's a costume party. Now again, people need to be aware so that they will come dressed in their costumes. So take into consideration dress code and deportment. Also think about the layout and the decor of your venue. Again, the team needs to be aware. It doesn't matter that I know nothing of floral arrangements. If I'm part of the team, I need to know what the color scheme is, what you're going to be using, where things should be placed. I need to be informed, because when the florist shows up and the florist takes the wrong items and you as the host or the lead person, you're not present, then what happens? Any member of the team could tell them to do whatever, or just place them anywhere, and that is not what you want. So ensure that all members of the team are in the loop, right? Security of the attendees at the venue. Security of the venue itself. I spoke about this earlier, and I can't say how important it is enough. Make sure you think about the security. Because if it's a paid activity and the venue is not sufficiently secure, think about it. A lot of things can happen. People with no tickets or who have not paid, breaching the venue, persons coming in and actually taking what you have collected for the event. You have to think about these things. Now, your guests, your hosts, and your staff all have responsibilities. Your guests should know what is expected of them. Think about it. If you're having a colors party, If you're having an all-white party, if it's a foam party, what is it? You need to ensure your guests know what is expected of them. Are they going to come all dressed in heels and sit around and talk to their friends? Or are they going to be expected to come and have a whale of a time? To be reveling, think of carnival, think soca, what it is, regardless of the type of event. Let persons know. If it's a church convention, usually you will hear the ad say, come and expect to be blessed. But think about it. If it is your Sweet 16 party, what are you saying? Oh, come and celebrate with Joanne. Right? So the occasion will lend itself to what tagline, what banner you will use, and to ensure that your guests will know beforehand what kind of event. And your staff, they need to know that although they are part of the team and they are planning and they're coordinating and they're working on the logistics, the event is not for them. Let me repeat, your staff need to know that the event is not for them. Think about it. Someone who is responsible for serving the drinks decides to start drinking the drinks. What will happen? Right? So all members of the team, your security starts going to the bar and enjoying all the liquor. Right? And then you end up with a drunk security and nobody to secure your guests and venue. So people need to know what their responsibilities are, what is expected of them. And so this is a point at which I emphasize the importance for social graces and etiquette. It is not just for your guests. It is for your team as well. Remember, planning any event, any special event, remember your planning checklist. Keep all team members informed at each stage. Communicate your preferences clearly. Set realistic timelines. Stay within your budget. Stay within your budget. Be professional and create a positive and memorable experience for all your attendees. Now, I spoke about varying kinds of events earlier, and by far that is not the complete list, because as human beings, we have a creative spirit and we're always coming up with new activities and events every day. But as part of what your syllabus requires, it is important that you pay attention to the objectives of the syllabus, pay attention to what is asked of you. And so at this stage, I'm going to share with you just part of a past CSEC paper. It's a CSEC question. I'm going to be looking at 3 parts of this question. And the first part having to do with managing special events. It asks, describe 2 roles in the management team in staging a special event. Can you think of them? I just shared some with you. What are your thoughts? Write them down, test yourself, and go back and check your notes. Another question, another part of the question rather. State any 2 of the first 3 steps in planning an event. What are they? You should know all the stages, all the steps. I'm asking you for the first 2. What are they? Again, write them down. Test yourself. And finally, you are responsible for planning your parents' 20th anniversary celebration. List 6 pieces of information you will need to include in your plans. What are they? Now, having looked at those questions, how many parts were you able to answer in a fulsome way, to answer completely, clearly? Now, if you were able to do that, you're well on your way. I suggest that you take the time to look at other ideas, and you can access other resources relating to CSEC Family and Resource Management from the CXC Notes Master, the CXC Learning Hub. You can actually consult your teacher for additional resources. And guess what? There is always Google University. Check out YouTube, type in the subheading that you want to learn more about, and you will find a whole host of resources right there available for you. Now, I encourage you to take the time, Consult your notes, consult your objectives, and ensure that you are prepared, because guess what? If you should become a master event planner, whoa, a whole host of people will be looking forward to your next event. I hope you enjoyed the session today. I encourage you to keep on pushing as we endeavor at every stage to be master event planners.